Hi, and welcome back to my 64 Falcon restoration project. As it stands right now, I'm waiting on some parts to show up so I can continue on with some of the other projects I'm working on and get this thing back to where I'd like to get it to. In the interim, we can certainly work on cleaning up some stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and get this door panel cleaned up and walk you through how I'm doing it. There might be better ways, and in fact, if you have some comments on different products or different ways to do this, I'm glad to listen and you can share your experiences. There's a product called Awesome. Now, not sponsored or anything crazy like that, don't even think about it, but this was actually a recommendation from one of my brothers. I have 8 of them, well 9 if you include my brother-in-law. And I found it works really well on cutting through a lot of this old grime. So before we start with this, see if we can get these handles off. To do that, unfortunately, you need to have a special tool. These are really inexpensive. Unfortunately, you don't take off a lot of door panels. It's kind of crazy to have to spend money on a tool like this. The tool fits in behind the handle, right here. And what it does is it pushes a clip out of the way so that once the clip's out of the way, you can pull the door handle off. Alright, that one's making a liar out of me. Let's try this one down here. So, we'll come back to that one. Get behind it, and you'll notice I'm putting the tool in on the same side as where the handle protrudes, because that's usually the way the clip rides. So, voila, it came out, and you'll see right here there's a little horseshoe clip. And this tool, when this horseshoe clip is inserted like that, it's grabbing onto the shaft, and this tool slides in, grabs that horseshoe clip, and pushes it out so that you can get this to pull off the shaft. Now, it might just be rusted onto the shaft. I can hear it release the clip. Well, it doesn't want to come off. I'm not going to stress this out because here, how well you can see that. This is the original color of the door panel. So let's go ahead and just start soaking this thing down. As soon as I figure out how to open this, there we go. And obviously it doesn't matter if it gets on the window or the rubber, and it's not going to hurt anything. Alright, so now that we've got that soaked down, the next thing I do is I take a scratch brite pad and just work it in. So you're getting the idea. From there, what I do is just take some regular old glass cleaner and I'm going to hit it with that. And Let's see how much better this looks. Well, it's not black anymore. There's some rust here, but it is 60 years old. Alright, well that's the process. We're going to go ahead and continue on and get some more of this gunk off of here. It's not looking like new, but I'm sure you agree it's looking a whole lot better than it was. Now you know why they just put it as a clip, because boom, it's together. Assembly doesn't take any time at all. You know, when you're dealing with manufacturing, especially this car, cars like it, it was all about cost saving. Basically a second car for the family was his original intent. Like I said, it's not perfect, but it's certainly looking a lot better than it did before we started. So, alright, so that's that portion of this video. We're going to move on to the next one here now. And one of the things I'm going to work on is this door on the rear for the passenger side does not open. And I'm going to show you a few things to clue you in on what's happening here. Look at this door handle. You can see that when we push it, there's nothing pushing back. There's one spring, but you should feel some of the linkage there. And this one, we can do the same thing once it focuses in. Right here you can feel it pushing against something and then it'll open. So it's hitting something right there. This one is not hitting anything at all. Now if we go over to the other side of the car, rear door, you can feel it right here. It's actually making contact and it will unlatch and open. Now the thing is, you can see this door knob here is up quite a bit. Once we focus, there you go. And obviously if we lock it, this won't open, but it's still hitting something. But because the other doorknob isn't hitting anything, it's not opening. Now what I have found is that if this door is locked and we push this knob in right here and we try to pull that knob there back up, it won't come up. And I think that's what's going on over there on that door, is that that doorknob, the lever that pushes off that knob, is stuck in and it won't let the door unlock. You can see from here, but we can get a little closer if you need to, that door button is all the way down and it won't pull up any higher. So to do this, I need to pull off this door panel. To do that, I'm going to pull out the back seat. Back seat here pulled out now. Sit down here so you can see me. Alright, so the way this usually works is you smack this back and pull up on it. There's some clips that go into the floor and they pop back and they pull out. So let's go ahead and give that a shot here. Alright, so that popped up pretty good. Alright, pull this aside. The bottom half of the seat out, and the reason we pulled that, I don't know if you can see from there, but I'm doing the best I can with working on a tripod in a tight space in the garage. But down here, the bottom of the door is right where the seat was, blocking it. So we needed that out of the way. The seat's also blocking this panel up here, so we're going to get this portion of the seat out as well. Now there should be 2 bolts on the bottom. We take those off and pop this up. So let's see how well that goes for us. Okay. Now, if my eye micrometer works, they're 7/16. Let's go find out. So, is my eye micrometer any good? No, it's not. But I grabbed a 3/8 while I was there. One. Two. So that's off. We should be able to pick this up and slide this out of here as well. Alright. Oh, and yeah, there's a couple mouse houses in here. Go figure. Open access to that door panel. So, I got the front seat moved forward as far as it'll go, and I believe it's giving us the space we need to get this panel off. So, we need to get this door handle off, and I'm going to guess a couple Phillips head screws maybe. Hold that on. So let's get a screwdriver and see if we can get that pulled off. Ooh, that sounds crusty. How's this one? Well, that one's coming out. Yep, number 3 Phillips head, as suspected. And this one, I'm not sure I'm going to get on it because I hear nothing but crusties. I'm trying to feel for the opening. And not working in my favor. Obviously, not hold on there very well. And I think that screw's pretty well rotted out completely. So we got some issues going on here. Got some rust going on here. It's off. Okay. So next thing we got to deal with, well, this door panel is going to hit this trim piece here. So I'm going to pull that back a little bit. It's going to lock into this groove here. And unfortunately, it's going behind the door jamb up front. So this might get really ugly, but let's see if we can get this window crank off. Might have to rethink what we're doing here. We're on the wrong side of the plastic on that, so let's get on the right side. Maybe that'll change things here. Oh, there it goes. success for one handle. Now, let's see if we can have some success with this window crank. Scrape out some of this mouse house stuff here. Let's see if we can at least get this door panel to pop a little bit for us. Here's it's wedged between here and there. And we got what's left of some molding there that's obviously no longer any good. Really nothing to pry on here, but try to get something wedged up behind this handle. Maybe we can give it a couple up taps. Break up some of that corrosion. Wow, what do you know? And the clip's still good, believe it or not. Okay, window cranks off. Alright, so back to yanking off this panel. Was a clip there, that's broken now. Seems we got something. Let's see here. There we go. Alright. Okay. Alright. Got the door panel off. Believe it or not, still got the paper in here. Okay. No one's been in here before. At least not that they wanted to remove the paper. Pretty common back in the day. We would just use paper coated with tar and use that for insulation for noise. There's a spring in there. Good to know. So we left off. I was tearing off a door panel, trying to get a door open. I have succeeded in that. Battery died in the camera again, and I don't have a backup battery, so completed that without you guys, sorry. It was as I expected. There's a piece of linkage on the latch that was stuck such that the button was pushed in all the time, and with that you can't unlock it. So after getting the panel off, I was able to push that linkage out, such as hitting the knob, unlock the door, and it opened right up. Sprayed it down really good with some lubricant, got it to move freely, had to lube up the hinges because they hadn't been opening forever, but door opens and closes beautiful now, unlocks and locks like it's supposed to, job done. Door panel's put back on. So, while I was in here doing that and I pulled these seats out for the rear, the previous owner had put this cloth of some sort across the rear deck lid. It looks pretty nasty, and what underneath it appears to look pretty good. There's some 6x9 speakers up here. They're both blown. I did buy a radio for this, so I want to put some new speakers in here anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these speakers out and get this cloth off, and we'll get a look at the rest of the deck lid and see what we've got going on there. Now, normally you would do this from the trunk, but because I got the back seat out, the only thing between me and the trunk and these speakers is this piece of cardboard. So we're going to go ahead and just slide this piece of cardboard out of the way. We'll have easy access. It'll be right in front of our noses, and we can go ahead and get these speakers ripped out of here. Obviously these speakers didn't come with the car. It only had the speaker in the front. But it's always nice to have some more tunes. So we're going to go ahead and yank these off of here, because we'll replace that anyways. Okay. in the trunk. What else is holding us here? So, apparently the previous owner made some sort of an adapter plate to mount the speaker in there. Let's see if we can get that off real quick. That's the adapter plate someone made. That's the speaker cover. And I'm not sure what that it says. Oral Vox maybe? I don't know. It's melted. It's distorted. It looks pretty rough. The deck lid, so far, so good, because we'll be getting a different speaker cover in here. We'll get this all vacuumed off, get it cleaned up, but so far it looks like it's in pretty good shape. Let's get the other one out. Worst case scenario, we could always make another one, but this one's already red. Looks pretty decent. Looks like it. Hard to tell. It's textured of some sort. I'll get you in here closer so you can see it. Here, a little bit of warpage going on, but in general, I think it's in pretty decent shape. I think we're going to hit it with a vacuum and see how well it cleans up. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we're going to move on to the next thing we're going to tackle. Alright, so got this vacuumed off, and it's not perfect, but it's okay for now. We're probably going to go with that, see how it looks once we get some new speakers in there, and who knows, we may end up replacing that. Time will tell. But we're going to move on to the next deal. Alright, so this is the top half of the back seat. Got it sitting here on the trunk lid. The material here looks pretty decent. I mean, it's not the most comfortable seat. They don't use the best padding, but I don't know who's going to sit back here anyways. So looking good is better than feeling good for this point. But what we're going to try to do, see if we can get this to clean up, and because this is all black sitting out in the sun and everything in this car, so we're going to go ahead and get you set up here on a tripod, and we're going to try to get this cleaned up. Some of this awesome stuff, just a rag, and we're going to just see what happens when we soak this stuff down here. I don't know if you can tell, but the gooey stuff is just dripping right off of here. On here, certainly a whole lot better than it was. I don't know that it'll come out. I mean, we could spend some time really scrubbing it, I guess we can spend a little time right now to try to get some of these spots that are a little bit more stubborn out. Alright, so I got the bottom half seat here. It's not nearly as bad as the top half, so we're just going to give it a quick cleanup and get that put back in there so it's out of the way as well. Now, I did vacuum these, but we're going to see if we can't clean up some of that too. Nearly as bad, but looks pretty good. You can take a look at this side of it. Obviously, this is where the top half rests against it, and that's what it should look like. This is all a bit sun faded and worn, but for right now we're going to go with it. And I was talking about the padding earlier. Basically just this burlap in here, and it's got some of this, I'm not sure if that's cotton or what, kind of mashed into the burlap, kind of sewed between that material to hold it all together. So that's all we got for cushion other than the springs, and it is pretty uncomfortable. So let's go ahead and get this thing thrown back in. I would like to have a radio in my car, and I looked into getting one that was more period correct, but they're very expensive, and this dash has already been marred up by the previous owners here. Let me get this out of your way. There you go. So because this has already been marred up, and a period correct looking radio is very expensive, I'm going to do something else. Now, the radio I picked it up for a few reasons. One, I think the style of it is going to look good with this interior. Two, it's got all the functions on it that I would like to have. And then lastly, it was inexpensive. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to destroy this dashboard for all you purists out there, but this is my car and I can do what I want with it. So this is the box that the radio slides into. Someone's already modified this hole in the dash to be the right height, and again they've already drilled extra holes here and there and kind of screwed things up anyways. So what we're going to do is we're going to tape this off, draw some lines, and cut this hole bigger to accept this for the new radio. Get this. There you go, so now maybe you can see a little better. Okay. So first things first, I'm going to put this guy up here where we know it's going to go, and we're going to take this Sharpie, we're going to draw a line right where we want this to end up. That's there, and that's there. Now again, we already know this section here is the right size, so that makes our lives a little easier. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab some tape. Let's see if it fits. And where are we going to go? I believe it does. So now comes the fun part. Let's see how we go here. I think that'll work. Some tabs to bend. Hope you've been enjoying my project so far. Still got lots of work to do, but it's coming along. I've actually been just enjoying driving the car lately. I've been taking it back and forth to work, run some errands, running like a top. Really fun to drive. Ride's real nice. Happy with that. If you're paying close attention, you may have noticed something. Yes, I have new carpet, and so we'll be moving forward with the interior. So in the next series of video, we'll be pulling out the interior and stripping out what's left of the carpet that's in here, fixing the floor, getting a new carpet installed, maybe fixing the trunk while we're at it because we've got some holes rotted through there. I've also got a new seal for the windshield, but we're going to wait on that until we do all the body work and get ready for paint, because that's going to go in after we paint the car. I also got a new seal coming for the back glass. That should be here tomorrow. And a seal for the trunk lid. So all that stuff's coming. I do have a set of horns to throw in here as well. So what's coming next? So again, I hope you're getting something out of this. I hope you're enjoying it. If you're not, well, you know, this is my project and I'm having fun with it, and that's what this is all about for me, but I'm sharing it with you because, you know, that's what we're doing. So until next time, hope all things are going well with you folks and you can move forward with your projects. Take care.